Hi, Paul Trincon here with Prosperity Coaching Associates for the July newsletter and the video for July. And I want to start off by wishing everyone hopefully a safe and enjoyable July 4th holiday weekend. The Declaration of Independence was what we're celebrating. And I wanted to start out with a couple little interesting tidbits that's in the newsletter about July 4th. Actually on July 2nd of 1776, the revised, they call it the Resolution of Independence, was put in place. They revised and edited that the next couple of days, the Second Continental Congress, and on July 4th, 1776, they signed the Declaration of Independence. It was written primarily by Thomas Jefferson and a committee of 5 other people. And I want to read a quote to you from one of the people in that point in time, which was John Adams. He wrote this: I'm apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as a great anniversary festival. It ought to be commemorated as the Day of Deliverance by solemn acts of devotion to God Almighty. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shows, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations, from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore. So our forefathers actually were ahead of the curve a little bit when they talked about celebrating this just wonderful holiday. Wanted to give you a little bit of information on that. Also, some remarkable coincidences happened. John Adams, the second president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, and actually signers of the Declaration of Independence, died on July 4th, 50 years later in 1826. And James Monroe, the fifth president of the United States, actually died on July 4th, 1831, although he did not sign the Declaration of Independence also. So 3 major figures from that time frame died on July 4th. And Calvin Coolidge was the only president actually born. He was born on July 4th, 1872. So a little bit about July 4th, and kind of in conjunction with that, you'll see in the newsletter that I talk a little bit about Adam Smith. Adam Smith was a Scottish philosopher and economist, and he wrote a book, a treatise really, called The Wealth of Nations, and it was really the basis of free markets and how free markets work. He contended, and I've got my, I want to just make sure I read this correctly, but basically it's the foundation of free markets, and he contended that, and I'll read this, that the wealth of nations is that capital is best employed for the production and distribution of wealth under conditions of governmental non-interference or laissez-faire and free trade. In Smith's view, the production and exchange of goods can be stimulated, and consequently a rise in general standard of living can be attained only through the efficient operations of private industry and commercial entrepreneurs acting with a minimum of regulation and control by governments. So anyway, that's the foundation of our country. And he was born, and actually died in 1790. He was born in 1723. So this was all going on, the foundation of our capitalistic and how our country was formed, at the same time that the pillars of our Constitution was in place as well. So those two things kind of go in hand for this month's newsletter. Some of you will get it after July 4th, but hopefully you enjoy some of the little remarkable coincidences of July 4th, and a little bit about the foundation economic of our country and some of the things that were going on at the same time. If you got any questions, as always, give me a call. Paul Trincon, and have a great and safe July 4th. God bless America.